Today's question comes from Titus, and I love this question because this is a question I answer every day, so I've got it in my pocket ready to give to you. The question from Titus was, if you had 800K in your pocket today, where would you buy today? So I'm going to give two answers. One is if you have physically $800,000 in cash, and two, if you have $800,000 in serviceability, which means you can buy a $800,000 property. I'll start with the first one. If you had $800,000 in serviceability, it's the easiest question to answer because my first thing would be, what's your goal? What's your outcome? Right? Property is very subjective. What we're after is only relevant. What the property we get is only relevant to what we're after achieving. So for example, some clients have got plenty of cash flow. They don't want cash flow. They only want positive growth. They want capital growth and they only utilize depreciation to basically bring their tax down. That's the word you've all heard before, negative gearing. So if your cash flow is good, you don't need the extra cash flow you're trying to save on tax, then we're looking for capital growth assets. We're looking at places like Queensland, Caboolture, Wollongabba. We're looking at places in Sydney like Leppington, Austral, in those regions. I know they're not the $800,000 mark, but I'm just giving you an example. We're looking at metropolitan areas which got high growth corridors. So if you don't need the cash flow, if you're happy to spend a bit more and negative gear and get your tax back, on the 800,000 mark, we are looking for metropolitan, the outer rims of Australia. So we're looking at places like 800K, Denman. We're looking at areas like Hunter Valley, especially Hunter Valley, Newcastle, that new train line announced, massive capital growth potential out there. We're building a lot out there because the entry point to get in is around your 750 to 900. Now, the second question is, if I had the $800,000 in serviceability, but I needed the cash flow, then we're looking for places where you can get positive gearing. Unfortunately, in metropolitan Sydney, you're not going to find much. Metropolitan Queensland, you're not going to find much. What we're looking at right now, we've just put some of our clients into this right now, a dual occupancy based out at Tamworth, a dual occupancy based out at Denman, a dual occupancy based out in the Hunter regions, a dual occupancy based out in the south the southwest part of Sydney. The areas in the mountains, Lura, those sort of areas, as you progress in the outer fringes where you can put a dual occupancy, you can get dual incomes. Here's the funny part about Sydney, guys, in New South Wales. The regional areas have a higher yield. So we've done so many sales in Muswellbrook. Muswellbrook has like a 7% yield. Compare that to Sydney, which has a 2.3% yield. And for those who don't know, yield is the percentage of rent and income you're getting compared to how much you've bought the property and asset for. So if you're getting $10,000 rent for a $100,000 house, you got a 10% yield, which is amazing if you see that jump on it. Right? So there were those areas I would go for the $800,000 price point. We're just looking for yield, but again, it's all relevant to you. If you want that question answered more seriously, hit us up, give us a call, and we'll look at your situation in more detail. It's very personal what you're thinking of doing. Now, the next question is if you had 800K in cash, and this is a problem I've solved for one of my clients quite recently. They had an owner occupied, but they felt like they were static. They weren't living where they wanted to live. They wanted to live further away, but they had 800K in liquidity if they sold the asset. So our strategy was to look at 3 to 4 assets they could buy, which cash flowed even, reduced their tax liability, and had their capital growth going. We were looking for areas that targeted 8 to 9% capital growth year on year, where they didn't have to spend money. So we looked at a duplex in Tamworth, which gave them 13 to 14,000 in positive gearing. We then looked at an asset in Queensland, which basically has 13 to 14% capital growth and is about evenly geared. We are looking for things in Sydney as well, in the metropolitan areas after we settle those, and potentially something as well in the Queensland metropolitan region as well. So what we're trying to do for them is get them to cash flow even as much as possible, but get them using $30,000 to $40,000 in depreciation on each of the assets per year so that their tax bill is substantially less. If you're on a 200K income and if we can offset your tax bill by 120 using the 50% rule, using your tax rate, that's giving you 60K in tax savings a year, which means you're almost not paying tax. Now, can't wait to see those cowboys jump in the comments and go, oh, you're not paying your fair share. Screw it, these guys work like monkeys. They kill themselves every day to get to where they're getting to. And I'm sorry, I love the government, love the people of Australia. But if you work hard, you should get to keep some of the money you put back into the system, remembering they're helping solve the housing crisis. So, summarizing, it's all personal to you. But if I'm looking at positive cash flow, I'm looking in the regional areas where I can put a dual occupancy. If I'm looking for capital growth, the numbers are everywhere. Queensland, metropolitan Sydney, different regions like that. Melbourne, not so much. I do see a spurt happening in the next 6 to 7 years. The thing about Melbourne for me is it's just such a low entry point. You can get way more bang for buck. You can buy in quite cheap, put a good deposit down and get yourself pretty evenly geared pretty quickly. But I do think there will be a land shortage issue because Melbourne's introduced some really weird land tax laws for when they rezone something, which means every developer's like, screw this, why should I put my money here? And when that actually shows and takes effect, there's going to be a supply shortage yet again, and then we're going to deal with another housing crisis where in Melbourne, we don't really have one at the moment. Hope that helps. Really appreciate the question. Let's keep them coming, guys. I'm here for you. Send the questions below. We'll keep answering them, whatever we can do to help. If you want something more personalized, hit us up. Empower Money. You can find the number and details below in the comment section. Take care, guys. Thank you so much. Guys, we are getting thousands upon thousands upon thousands of views a day. Please like, subscribe. If you're loving the content, press the notification button. Jump on board. More free advice just for you.